Justin Trudeau walked with his wife, Sophie Gregoire Trudeau, to Rideau Hall to meet with Governor General Julie Payette. Inside, he asked her to dissolve Parliament, formally triggering the election campaign. The party leaders were ready with their messages for the next almost 6 weeks and their questions for Canadians.
Who can you trust to help you and your family to get ahead?
Who can you count on to fight for you?
Qui va être fidèle à ce que nous sommes?
We get to decide what kind of future we want to build together.
Let's have a real discussion about all the issues that are important.
This is the most important election in Canadian history.
Every step of this campaign, we will be there with you and for you, making sure you have the information you need to make a decision on voting day. Starting with how today's plan veered off track for some of the party leaders as they tried to set the tone for their campaign. Salima Shivji begins our coverage tonight.
On a day the Liberal leader wanted to make his pitch to Canadians.
You deserve a real plan for your future.
Justin Trudeau was quickly forced to play defense. With the SNC-Lavalin affair back in the headlines, a report in the Globe and Mail that the RCMP, in asking more questions into possible charges, has been blocked by cabinet confidence. Trudeau kept his answers short.
We gave out the largest and most expansive waiver of cabinet confidence in Canada's history.
And late tonight, another report that RCMP investigators met with former Justice Minister Jody Wilson-Raybould just yesterday. This morning's news, a gift to the Conservatives who hastily set up a mic.
What today shows is that you just cannot trust Justin Trudeau.
Andrew Scheer calculated that even in Quebec, where the company is headquartered, it was worth it to stay on the attack.
Justin Trudeau must allow the RCMP to do its job.
But venturing into Quebec brings its own perils. Scheer was forced to explain where he stands on the province's popular law that bans public sector workers like teachers and police officers from wearing religious symbols.
Do you believe it infringes on religious rights?
As I said, I would never proceed with this at the federal level.
On the topic, one the leaders prefer to avoid, Trudeau also walked a fine line on whether Ottawa should intervene.
And at this time, I feel it would be counterproductive for the federal government to engage in this process.
While Quebec's premier had this to say.
I want them to stay out of it forever.
All of this taking away from what both the Liberals and the Tories wanted to focus on, the economy and how to capture seats from a weakened NDP. Its leader was trying to talk about affordable housing and medication, but was instead peppered with questions about his party's state, which he answered like this.
We've got candidates across this country. We're confident people will see us as their real champion.
The leaders are likely hoping tomorrow will afford more opportunities to stay on track, and it's only day one of 40. Salima Shivji, CBC News, Ottawa.
That reported meeting between the RCMP and Wilson-Raybould will likely mean more questions for the Prime Minister tomorrow. Vashi Kapelas, host of Power and Politics, is here with me on Parliament Hill. Spent much of the day together. This came up late tonight. Probably not the way you want to start a campaign.
No, probably not. The Liberals had a very specific message they wanted to get across today. Choose us, not them. Those guys, the Conservatives, they're going to be cutting services for you, things along those lines. They didn't want to wake up talking about SNC, and they certainly don't want to go to bed talking about SNC and then wake up tomorrow talking about it as well. The specter of an RCMP investigation, though it's not an investigation, just the specter of the RCMP being associated with this is not going to make their life easier during this campaign. Andrew Scheer is talking about how you shouldn't trust Justin Trudeau, how his integrity is in question. What this allows Scheer to do is sort of underscore that point by attaching the RCMP to those claims and dig a little deeper along the way. It's not going to end the campaign for the Liberals by any stretch of the imagination, but it certainly will affect things.
Yeah, hard to see if it will redo what it did in the spring in terms of public opinion polls. All right, Vashi, good to see you. I'm sure I'll see you again very soon.